Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this Facebook Live. Today, I'm Maria Zaposhek. I'm here with you, and I have the honor and the pleasure of having with me one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Susanna Mittermeier. She is the author of Pragmatic Psychology and author of a few, now it's 4 books, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And one of them is Pragmatic Psychology. And this is actually what we will be talking about today. So, hi, Susanna. Thank you
Hey,
for having me here. Hi.
Maria.
So, I just wanted to first of all, I wanted to say that I was really excited when you asked me to do this with you, this conversation. And I was like, oh, now I'm going to have to prepare. And I was like, I went reading, and I was like, no, actually, okay. So what I came up with was basically, we all know, like everyone on this planet knows what psychology is. Like everyone knows about psychology, right? But like few of us really, or a few people that really actually know what it's all about and what is actually pragmatic psychology. So that is what I'm interested in, and probably a lot of people out there. And also, like, if I feel like really like an alien coming to Earth and not knowing anything about anything, and I'm just asking you, hey, Susanna, what is pragmatic psychology? Can you please
So
say
I,
something?
I love that. I love that, Maria, because what you said there was if I were an alien coming to this planet, and what most people who are different, like us, or like people who always know, okay, I'm different, and most of them have probably thought, no, I'm not different. I'm the black sheep in my family, so I'm wrong. I'm not different. I'm wrong, but it's basically all the people who ever thought that they were wrong in some way are actually the different ones, are the ones that are, having some kind of, way about them, something that they are that is different. And in our world, difference is seldom something that is being celebrated. Difference is oftentimes something that is being boxed in or categorized or called something or labeled as something. Sometimes it's diagnosis, or sometimes it's other kinds of labels or judgments. And but basically, it's like what you said at the beginning. This being an alien coming to this planet is like, what if that thing that you guys listening to this call I'm wrong, I don't fit anywhere, is actually, what you said, like being so different that you're kind of like an alien coming here and going, where did I land? Like, it's so funny. I just facilitated a class a week ago or something, and there was this lady sitting in the classroom, and she said, that is so funny. It's like, I always thought that and I have to translate from German into my head. So she said, I'm like, I always felt that I'm on the wrong planet. Like, I must have turned wrong when I came here. And it's like, that's so, and she thought, oh my God, I'm so weird for saying that. And everybody in the classroom went, thank you. I have the same thing, I thought I was like, taking a wrong turn when I came onto this planet, because I'm like, I tried to understand for a long time what is going on. And and it's like just the acknowledgement of, hey, what if the thing of I'm wrong, or I don't fit in anywhere, or I'm the black sheep in my family, is actually the acknowledgement of the difference you are, the gift that difference is. And this is where, if you go, okay, how can I word this? So if you like are coming to this planet with no reference points of what is right or what is wrong, or how you're supposed to create a family, or how you're supposed to create a business, or what is a good business, or what is a great relationship, what is a bad relationship, if you had no reference points at all and you just go, hi planet something, wherever I landed here, what would I like to create as my life? Oh, it would be fun to play with some people. Oh, okay. So, and like that way, you would be constantly in question. You would be constantly in, hey, what would I like? What would be fun for me? Rather than what's right? What should I avoid? What can I be? What can I not be? So all of these things are basically where people learn to function very dramatically, like looking at what is wrong, looking at why it's wrong, and then looking for a solution. So that's the dramatic perspective. So now to what is possible beyond this is being pragmatic. And pragmatic is nothing but just do what works, do what works. So pragmatic psychology is this invitation to, hey, do you even know what works for you? Or have you spent your whole life doing what's right for other people or avoiding what's wrong? And that takes so much energy, It takes so much energy to trying to figure out, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Should I do, like we both know, like how much energy we spent in our life already going, okay, should I have said something different? Should I have done this in a different way? And it's like constantly being in the past, like even if the conversation was like 5 minutes ago, most people go, okay, maybe I should have approached this different. Was this too much? Was I too intense? Was this kind enough? And it's like driving people crazy, and it's constantly going to the past rather than, hey, okay, this was what it was. Now what?
Yeah. And also this wrongness. I think I hear myself echo. Okay. And I love this, what you said about constantly going to the past and basically looking to what is wrong about everything that we do or say. We constantly have this, filter of judgment or something, some reference, what we should be doing. And you said brilliantly with pragmatic, it's what works. And I've read in your book in the beginning, you say that, psychology is basically to help you fit in, to be normal, to be like not stand out in this reality, to be like as normal as possibly you can, so you don't have problems, and so you can be like everyone else. But I also read in your book that you were doing that. You were being perfect. You had like the perfect life, the normal or the awesome life that you're supposed to be having, or you should be having.
Yeah.
And you were like, what WTF? Is this all it is? And being unhappy and being like, and I know for so many people, it's like, it was like that for me as well. Having this perfect, like everything doing right, and having this perfect life. But it's like, what do you do with that? It's like, and you're never happy. And I do love that about what you talk about in the pragmatic psychology. And can we, even now that I'm like, we're talking about it, my world is, there's so much happiness in my world. Can you please say more about that, please?
About the happiness?
Yes, about that.
Yeah.
So about like being this difference and how happiness is basically,
Yeah. Thank you. Great. So it's basically like, as you said, like I tried to create, like before, that was many years ago, I was trying to create my life so it matched what other people have as a standard of, oh, that's a good life. You're supposed to be happy with this life. And, it was a man, it was having a house, having a career. It's like all the boxes, when you go, okay, so what is a good life, and then we have learned there are these boxes, it's like a partner, it's a house, it's probably a pet, it's probably, I don't know, there are like all these things you're supposed to tick
White
off.
picket fence. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, the fans, and it's probably changing, every, decade or whatever, but it's kind of like the same. And so this is what's being handed to us. That's having a life, you're welcome, and so what do you do when you are an alien, and go, what do I have, what do people want from me? Oh, okay, that. So I ticked off all these boxes, and I wasn't happy. I'm like, I'm supposed to be happy because I have everything I'm supposed to have to be happy, but I'm not happy. What's wrong with me? And I think most seekers of the world have that, like, this ticking off the box of what's supposed to be right. It's not enough for us. It's definitely not enough. And then, many people go into depression or create physical diseases or, anxiety or all kinds of things, and I realized, like, I was starting to get depressed, and I'm not a depressed person. So I realized there's something I need to change. There's something, and I didn't know what. I'm like, universe, please, I like something different than than this. And so I realized there's something, like, what else can I add to my life? And so this need to be perfect, it's like there's no space for you in perfection. There's no space for you in perfection. And most people who go and seek help with an expert, a psychologist, a coach, whoever, they try to look at, how do I get better? How do I, get a better life? How do I get things right? How do I fit better into this world or into my family or, into a relationship? So it's all about getting better and avoiding being bad or wrong. And it's like this, that's a tiny, tiny world to have. If you're worrying about how can I get better and how can I avoid being wrong and bad, that's not living, that's having a life, and that's very small. So what if it's all about judgments? It's like good or bad, right or wrong. So what if life and living is not about getting it right or fitting in or not being wrong, but about going beyond all that and truly finding out what works for me, creating a life that works for you, finding out what makes you happy, finding out what, makes your life easier. And this is the pragmatic perspective. And this is not normal on this planet yet, because everything that people go to seek help, almost everything is about getting things better and more right and being more okay for this world and being more okay for other people. Not about empowering yourself to know what you know, not about, hey, what makes me happy? And the things, like, when I work with people and they get closer to what is really true for them, it creates a lightness and a relaxation in their worlds and in their bodies, as well, especially in their bodies and their whole worlds, where it's like that, and it's like when it's like most people only have that maybe if they take a walk in nature or if they play with an animal or with a child, then these are the few moments people allow themselves that relaxation, and they go back to work and stress again and get panic or, stress, whatever problems. And it's like, what if you can have that space, that relaxation that you have when you play with a dog, an animal, nature, children? What if you can have this all the time? And how do you get there? Well, by truly finding out what's true for you, by your willingness to be different, by your willingness to be that alien that you actually truly are, and celebrating it. Stop making it wrong, seeing it as a gift, because it will guide you. It will navigate you towards what is true for you. It will navigate you to your capacities, to what you truly know that nobody else knows. I've seen this so often when I worked in psychiatry. I did my job as a psychologist there and therapist, and I had all these people that were so quote unquote like, had mental diseases with different diagnoses, and the doctor would go, okay, this is a hopeless case. Da, da, da. And I was doing testing on them. I was testing them and then doing therapy. And so I would sit with these people and then with, hearing the doctor's point of view, okay, okay, so check what's wrong with them. I mean, that was basically the perspective that I was, handed. Okay, what is the name for the kind of wrongness that they have? And then how can we fix it? And that perspective never made sense to me. I'm like, I know I studied this. I know I was supposed to see the world like this, but it didn't match me. It didn't match what I know is available. And so when I saw these people and sat with these people, all I could see was people who are just different, who function different, who see the world in a different way, and the gift that is. Because the way that they see things is where I go, oh, cool, I haven't seen it that way. Wow, that is adding to my world, and the way I saw things, it's adding to their world. And that's the world we can create. That's how we can be with each other, not the boxing in, but okay, so this is how you see things. And the thing that occurred by acknowledging their difference and expanding the space for them to be different is where the symptoms of stress, panic, anxiety, depression, whatever, contraction, they melted, they dissipated. So it was not about diving into the problem or, dissecting it or analyzing it or solving it. It was like acknowledging the person for who they are, celebrating the gift, and then everything that created the stress, it dissipated. And that's the space we can be. And, okay, this is just the example for people who have diagnosis, but you don't need to wait until you have a diagnosis to do this with yourself or with someone else, providing that space for each other.
Wow. I love this conversation. And it's also when you were talking about you have first, like in this, like we are taught to first fix things and be perfect and be right, then we can be happy. But it's basically the other way around. We actually first have to just be us, acknowledge the difference that we are, and be willing to be that difference then. And that's like you said, the anxiety and all those disorders, quote unquote, they just fall away, they melt away, because it's basically the disorders and the problems that are the symptom or the result of us not being us and not being happy. And I love that you said that. That is really brilliant. Thank you. And also I wanted to just acknowledge the beauty of you willing to see the difference in all those people, and it actually basically that you were basically that space of allowance for them to actually step into that. And we don't really usually have that many people in our lives that function from that. And you did that because you also yourself you used some different tools. You were not being in judgment. Probably you weren't in judgment of yourself in the first place. And then you could also not be in judgment of others.
But that's what you said there, like the space of allowance. And I mean, you're that too with the people you work with, it's like, and otherwise, you wouldn't see that or talk about it. So it's like that space of allowance for each other is amazing. And it's really like, it's with everything and everyone. I mean, that is something we all can practice. It's fine. The space of allowance. It's like, that is something that, imagine if you meet someone and they have whatever going on and they have a totally different reality than you and they have totally different points of view. They might even have points of view that you go, oh, I don't believe how they can be that way. And what if you, anyway, like just for the fun of it, practice, okay, why am I judging them? Am I bored? okay, you know what? I can just like, what would it be to be an allowance of that? But the thing is that what I realized, and I looked at that with myself too, because I use these tools. I do this with myself too. I'm like, there's so much to discover. It's like people love stress and conflict. And and this is something that is so funny when we see this with ourselves. If you look at, whatever situation you have in your life, let's say with your children or your relationship or your job, it's like realize when it's becoming too easy, and it's like, okay, everything is just moving along. And then, how many times are you, and I'm going to say, inventing some kind of stress to have the, excitement again, to have the spice again in your life, and at this point of like, how many times do you guys have this point of view of, if it's too easy, it's boring, know? And I looked at that in my own life. I'm like, because I allow a lot of ease, but I could allow even more. There's like always, how does it get any better in this? And I looked at those places where I'm like, everything is just so, it flows, it's easy, da 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 da. And then I just go, oh my God, okay, I have so little time. Shit, I'm so stressed time-wise. And I was watching myself going, that is so funny. I should be in a theater right now, doing a funny show. Because it's like, I'm not really stressed. But then I realized, oh, I thought I was bored again. I needed some spice. Okay, that was fun. Spice, over it next, But it's like this addiction to stress and conflict that people call their lives, rather than, okay, so I'm going to practice ease. How much ease am I truly willing to have? How much ease how much ease can I stand? And yeah, so that is something to look at for our own lives. How much ease am I allowing myself to have? Yeah.
And I wanted to also add here, when we were talking about being different, people also refer that, oh yeah, being different is an alien, or being different is like you're really out of the box. But also being different is also being willing to have ease and being happy, because it's not normal to be happy. And how much are we also, when we have that ease and that happiness, we go into stress because we actually want to be like everyone else, so we fit in again.
Definitely. I mean, you would be so strange to people, so weird if you would allow that level of ease. People would go, you're too stupid to get it, are you? You don't really get the problem here. And that's like, what if you're willing to be stupid in other people's eyes? It's like, I know our friend Dane, he at some point said, I am rather a happy idiot than an unhappy genius. Yeah. And I'm like, that is brilliant. Exactly that. I mean, because if you're having everything too easy, like there's so many judgments of, oh my God, you always had it so easy. I mean, how many of you listening were those, where people go, oh my God, you don't get it. You don't get life because you always had it so easy. No, you didn't have it easy. You chose it easy. You created it easy. And that is a gift. That is a capacity. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. And it's okay, people thinking you're an idiot. I mean, so many people thought my whole life I'm an idiot because I choose happiness and I choose ease. When there's a problem, I look for a way around it. I'm like, oh, problem, cool. That problem, what gift is this to me? What can I learn here? And what's the way around it? And that way, you're always an advantage. But you're not supposed to have that power. You're not supposed to have that ease. It's like when people have a problem, they look at it as a detriment rather than a power. What if every problem is actually a possibility, a power that you're not willing to have? And you're rather going into victim rather than the power that you could have. So the question is, how much ease am I allowing myself to have? And how much power am I allowing myself to have? And you guys who still listen, who haven't stopped, and who are not, majorly annoyed by this conversation, you're probably more, more happy and powerful and different than you've ever acknowledged. And it's like, again, what if you actually turn it up? What if you actually realize what a gift you are with that difference? And just because you already are have ease, and just because you already are different, don't stop there. Don't just settle for you are already having more ease than other people. Be willing to have as much ease as you can have, not from comparison with other people, but from, hey, not just more ease than other people, but as much as you uniquely can have, you know?
Yeah, like exploring what else is possible here. And now we almost started. It's just the tip of the icebergs. What is underneath the surface? I wonder.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. And I just have to just say that the crazy happy thing in your book is like that's this awesome thing that just drew me in because I was like crazy happy. Like first time I saw it, like crazy happy. Ooh, but it's actually, but you know,
Yeah.
but you actually are crazy when you're happy. And
Yeah.
when you are happy, you can be like also crazy. You can be even more, you can be even crazier with the happiness. You can just go wild with it, if you allow yourself. And I love that. And also the being different, like that's stuck out for me. Like those phrases, like being different, crazy happy, and pragmatic. So doing what actually works.
Yeah,
That
but
for
you
me
are
was
crazy. You are crazy when you're doing what works because you have a level of ease that is, that's just too much. And, the willingness to be too much is what actually sets you free.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a meme right there.
Meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
have another question.
Yeah.
It's awesome because in your book you started with, I started with something that should be in the end, so not being linear. I loved that about this book too, because I first and foremost, for me, I've never been linear, and I could not be linear to save my life. And when I saw, wow, she's like willing to write that in a book and do it like that, and it's like, wow, and it actually works.
Mhm.
So that's also one of the things I love
Yeah.
about that. So can you talk about
Yeah.
a little bit more?
So it's again the need to not be perfect. So when I wrote the book, I thank God, no education in writing a book. I had no reference points in writing a book. I was just going blah. And then the cool thing is when you write a book, you have someone else who is correcting your language, and everything else, which is really convenient. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You just go blah, 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 whatever is fun for you to write, da, 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 da. And then there you go. Someone else does, the job that you maybe not want to do, because I didn't want to correct my language. And it's like, yeah, it's like this not linear. You don't have to know when you want something different in your life, you don't have to know where to start. You just start. And then from that you go, okay, wow, okay, this is showing up in my life. Now what? Now what? Now what? So this constant planning, okay, I want my life to be this way. What are the steps 1, 2, 3 that I'm supposed to follow? It's way too much work. Don't worry about it. Just start, and start with one thing and then see where it leads you, and then next. And that's the relaxation you can be, because when you start with one thing, the universe provides you, because you choose, the universe provides you with so much information and so much contribution, because it goes, oh, she's really choosing, she really wants this, okay, cool, so there you go. So the trust, like, allow that trust that once you go in one direction, there's actually a lot of contribution coming your way, and all you got to do is allow it.
Yeah, and I love that because it was easy. It was not normal you writing this book so quickly and so easily, because normally in like most of the people, they need to like they take years to write a book, because that's the thing of like trying to go to perfection, like this is first and this has to be like this, and then if you just be like, I'm just gonna start,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna like the book, like Pragmatic Psychology says, I'm just gonna be pragmatic, do what works, not what like I should be doing.
exactly. Yeah, and
That's
that's how this whole life form was created. I was never planning on, oh, it's going to be a worldwide movement. The pragmatic psychology. I was just like writing a book, having fun, using like finding out what I know about creating change with people, and then this whole thing got created. And it's like whatever you guys are creating, it's the thing that you create. It actually shows you where it wants to go. So, for example, with the pragmatic psychology, we had a lot of classes on, people who were looking for help, people who were thinking they're wrong, and what they, like looking at what else is possible, like going from wrongness to strongness. And then I had a conversation with a couple of people. One of them, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, and he said, okay, so what else would this life form like to be? So this is a question you guys can ask. What else would this business, this thing I'm creating, what else would you like to be? You ask it. And so, so what came out of this was this, hey, this pragmatic practitioner program where it's like showing practitioners, and that is like people who work with other people, like I don't know, teachers and social workers and coaches and therapists and facilitators of any kind, hairdressers, whoever, parents, like how can I work with people? Like how can I facilitate means making easier. How can I facilitate change for myself and also for other people? And that's what this is being evolved in. And it's amazing, guys, what shows up when you actually ask the things what they would like to be. So if you guys want to have more of this also, there are the books, and like check out the Pragmatic Practitioner Program. I'm in love with it. It's like showing me so much of how we all can work different with our clients or patients or children, including ourselves. It shows so much of what every person uniquely knows, how they uniquely can facilitate change. And it's like it's for anybody, like any client who comes to you. And it's incredible what gets created when you start to trust yourself, when you don't compare yourself with someone else. Oh, they have an education, they have a title, they must know better. But it's like you empowering you to know what you know. And then how much can your business grow? How much can your finances grow when you know what you know, and when you trust yourself, and when you get what a valuable product you are? So this program is available in form of classes. So check them out. We have them, all over the schedule. Actually, I haven't scheduled so many because, I have to get to work, but, there's one on the calendar already, and there's going to be more coming. So just check them out. And, everything is on the, whatever page, I don't even know my pages.
I did. I think it's Susanna Mittermeier or Pragmatic Psychology. But if people just put in the search engine, you can just get it. It just pops up pragmaticpsychology.com. And I just saw that you have a 6-month adventure as well.
Oh, yeah.
Pragmatic made pragmatic. I stumbled upon that. I was like, I want to ask her about this.
So it's thank you for reminding me. I'm like, oh yeah, I have that too. So there's so much going on. So there's a second book. It's called Advanced Pragmatic Psychology that Gary Douglas and I wrote together, and it was actually from a class we did together, and we explored all these areas like ease with marketing, ease with business, ease with money, ease with parenting, relationship, body, working with people, like really literally all the areas. And we were exploring, okay, how can you be pragmatic in all areas of your life? I mean, that's crazy. And so we had this class, the book was created from that. And then now I'm going to do a 6-month adventure where we go through all these areas and extrapolate, and people can ask questions. And there's 2 calls per month, and it starts June 30th. So this is something you don't need to have any prereqs. If you go, okay, I want to dive into all these areas and I want to know what I know, that's where you can join us.
Awesome. And I also wanted to ask for people maybe watching this in the future that might have just gone over the date when you start. Is this going to also be a program that people could be buying later on, or?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I think so. I'm not sure yet how we're gonna set it up. I never, like, when I do this, I never plan before. I'm like, I was talking with this lady and she said, you're not supposed to be successful because you do everything wrong in marketing. And I'm like, I do. I didn't even know, because I never think about like how I should supposed to market. I do whatever is fun, and now this and now that. But I don't have a strategy at all. And my team, we don't have a strategy. We don't think about this, which I couldn't do that. I could not do this to myself. I couldn't force myself to have a strategy where I follow the steps of how you market. That's torture to me. So I just do whatever's fun for me and it works, So if you guys stress yourself out there, stop. Do what's fun for you.
Be pragmatic, people.
Yeah, there you go.
And also, I just wanted to ask everyone, especially if you like this, for me, I always wanted to have like teachers and people that work with other people in healthcare and everywhere else to have these tools. I would love nothing more than people having like my teachers, for example, people I go to like to the doctors, or if I go to a psychologist or like a counselor or something. What would it take for people to actually get these tools in their hands? And if you know someone that would really like to be interested in this, please share this, because for me, like this is what I've been asking for people who work with other people to just inspire them, empower them, instead of like fixing problems. And there's a lot of people out there also that would like to know this, but they don't know that it exists. So what would it take for them to just find it? And if you like it, if you share it, people can find it. So, and also if you know someone that's looking for this, please pass it on.
Thank you for saying this, Maria. That is exactly where I'm like, imagine if every practitioner, every dentist, every doctor, every hairdresser, everybody who has anything to do with other people would have these tools available, not looking at people from wrongness. I mean, even imagine a massage therapist. Like I love massage therapists who nurture my body from no point of view, from no projection, from no judgment, from just like from a gratitude. It's like, imagine if these tools, if this perspective would be in the hands of all practitioners out there, of all people, what world would we be able to create? How yummy would it be to, ask for facilitation, because you would know the person wouldn't judge you. You would know the person wouldn't box you into something. They would have your back. They would empower you. They would tickle out what you know. I mean, that is something I'm asking for. And as you said, Maria, I'm like, all of you out there who listen to this, I am happy for your contribution, whether it's your energetic contribution to this or you want to share this to someone who is looking for this. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I love that you said like hairdressers and dentists, because some of them, most of them get a lot of crazy clients. So, they could also use the tools to work with people when they come to you in a different way.
Yep. I know dentists who are using these tools and work with pragmatic psychology, and they say it's a totally different way. It's a totally different life now. Yeah. Cool. Yay.
Amazing. I have another question. Just one last one.
Yeah.
What is the peacock about? I'm like, I love the peacock, and it's just I wanted to ask.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so peacocks, when they spread their feathers and they just, hi, I know I'm beautiful and you're welcome. It's on the house, and I'm not going to hold myself back. I'm going to show all my beauty, and I'm going to be totally shameless about it. That's what we can be, like this beauty of taking your space in the world, being there with everything you are, not going, hiding yourself or apologizing for, oh, I'm sorry, I'm saying something, sorry, I'm also here, but I'm here and I'm going to enjoy everything, and you can enjoy me. And if you don't enjoy me, I'm not going to take it personal, because it's not. And that is the peacock. So there you go.
So that if I can use the word perfect, this is the perfect ending to like a wonderful conversation.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much, Susanna, for being here with us.
Wonderful meeting you. I'm so grateful. Thank you for your space and your questions. I adore you. Thank you.
It is mutual. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who was listening to us. See you.
Bye.
Bye.